privilege on Family Singing Made Simple to have guests for the last few weeks. And we've been able to have my family, and we've got more of our family members with us. This is the Hearn family. This is Rebecca, my oldest daughter, and I'm so excited about having them sing with us here this afternoon. Now, I understand that since we have been together, your family, Rebecca, have been singing in parts. Is that right?
Yes, sir. We are blessed. The Lord has helped us learn some new parts to be able to sing in 4-part harmony.
And what happened this last Sunday?
This last Sunday, I needed to play the piano at our home church, but my husband was preaching at another church, so the kids went with him, and they were able to sing in 4-part harmony, and I wasn't even there. I felt so...
Well, you normally play for them, is that correct,
right,
on the piano?
Yes,
And you were not there, so how did they do? How did they do for music?
Well, we are also blessed to have Anna Grace. She has learned to play the ukulele, and so you use what you have. And Anna Grace played her ukulele. They sang the song "Gone." The night before, Lonnie Moore decided to try to challenge himself to learn the tenor part. And you're going to talk about the other parts later, but we sang in 4-part harmony, or they did.
Well, let's talk just a little bit. This is Family Singing Made Simple, and let me encourage you to keep it as simple as you can, especially getting started and developing. And I remember, and it really doesn't seem like that long ago, Anna Grace wanted to learn, she wanted to play an instrument.
Mm-hmm.
And you picked out the what?
Ukulele.
And why the ukulele?
It's really easy. You can basically play any song with just 3 chords. I mean, a lot of different songs require different chords, but the 3 you need basically are used for any song.
And they're easy to chord, right?
Yes.
Especially for young people?
Exactly, yes.
Easy to record and make but what happens with the ukulele, you have all 4 parts,
Yes.
right? And so they sang with Anna Grace playing the ukulele, and having practiced their 4 parts, they were able to do that. And I heard it, and it was wonderful. I was so impressed. Well, let's talk a little bit about singing in parts. And I want to encourage, I've had some to ask, how do I get my children to sing in parts? Well, Rebecca has followed a little bit in her father's footsteps and working with children's choirs and young people and getting them, and that's not an easy thing to do. But one thing I have found, Rebecca, and I'm sure you can maybe speak on this a little bit, but if you have one part, if you have a vocalist in every part, you can put all the others around that one, and they anchor each part, and it makes it so much easier, isn't it?
You need to have leadership in each section, and that's a goal, to get a leader there. And there's been many times where we didn't have a leader, and you feel a little bit like you're trying to sing with one hand tied behind your back or something like that.
Sure. It's limited. Rebecca was saying earlier, some people, they think about when they're with their family, maybe a basketball team.
Growing your own basketball team,
yeah,
or baseball team, but I would love to grow my own choir. And so, Lord helping us and us getting some good tips from the Von Trapp family, Sound of Music, voila.
Well, let's introduce this budding choir, all right? So we have our soprano, Anna Grace. Anna Grace is a senior. She is a sophomore at Crown College. And then we have our alto. This is Olivia. She's the senior this coming year in high school. And we have our new bass that is coming on. And can I say a word about Kaz? He's just hit that 13-year-old mark. And I'm going to tell you guys, it's a different experience when your voice begins to change. And Kaz, for a good while, he was your alto, wasn't he?
Yes, sir. Mm-hmm.
He could hear that alto part. So now that his voice is changing, he is picking up that bass line. Falls right in there. So we have bass Kaz, And who do we have over here with the microphone? Oh, he said, I'm soprano, alto, tenor, whatever you need, right? This is my namesake. This is Lonnie Ray, and he does have a great voice. And but he had his first experience this Sunday doing what?
Singing tenor.
Tenor. He always liked to sing the lead part, the melody of the song, and has had the privilege to do the national anthem a few times. Did a great job, but he challenged himself to sing that tenor. And Lonnie Ray, you did a great job.
Thank you.
And a lot of times, kids, and if you allow them to, they'll say, "Oh, I can't do that." Always challenge your children, especially in music, to do more. And I would also challenge them to learn all the parts. And I've had the privilege of make recordings, and I've done some quartets where I sang all 4 parts. And so if you start that early enough, you don't know and what you may have, but especially when it comes to youth choirs, right? And if you can, and sometimes we have done that. We've said, Olivia, would you mind singing tenor? Sing tenor with guys, and you did that this past year, didn't you?
Competition.
Yeah, in competition, and sometimes, by the way, in school competitions, you have to really maneuver some parts around. And Olivia, she's very flexible, and she sang tenor because the tenor guy, and a lot of times guys, they're playing ball and everything else, and maybe don't have the interest that they should sometimes in choir, so they may be weak. And so it's good to be flexible, right?
Olivia grew up singing a lot of her early choir years in the choir next to Grana. So she learned alto from the best.
Yes, that's right. Olivia always had her place, and when in our choir, our church choir, we allow when you get turned to be a teenager, you're allowed to be in our choir. And so Olivia, she just started singing with her Grana, Gail, and Gail in fact says, "I miss my alto singing with me." And she, Olivia, can I say you learned from a great alto? Did you? That's right. I'll tell you, Gail is a great alto, but I will say this, I'll hand you this. For Gail, she decided she wanted to learn soprano, and I'm saying just in the last couple of years, and I won't say how old, but doing all these voice lessons, she decided she would learn soprano, and you're never too old to be able to do new things, and Gail's got a beautiful soprano voice now, but she trained alto.
Also, once you become an alto, don't say forever, and I think you already mentioned this, "Oh, I'm an alto and I can do no other."
That's good.
Olivia also just, I'm really proud of her for coming along. Once Anna Grace goes off to college, and she was blessed to go to New York City with her college choir, the Crown College Choir, and get to sing soprano up there. But with her gone, we needed leadership, and at our school at Christmas time, Olivia was a soloist, and she sang some soprano, or she sang alto then, but I've noticed that she has been working out her soprano voice too, so that she's not just stuck in alto land for the rest of her life. She can sing lead if need be. And that was the desire of her heart. That wasn't something that I forced her to do or anything like that. She just has been stretching, and she is now able to sing soprano as well. So,
Rebecca, I know with you and your sisters, when you were growing up, one of the main things that we did, and you may just reiterate what we've already been saying, but how was it that you what were some of the things that we did that helped you learn to sing parts?
well, first of all, when we very first started singing, we were moving to Nicholasville in the church here, and we didn't have special music, so you started teaching us to sing in our car rides from the mountains to Nicholasville. And I remember we would practice Surely Goodness and Mercy. That was the very first family song that we ever sang. And so Mom and Dad sang the first 2 verses, Or, no, Leah and I sang the first verse.
Right,
Mom and
right.
Dad sang verse 2 and 3. And then when we would get to the chorus, Mom and Dad would try to break off into tenor and alto. Well, Leah and I just would want to slide right up there to tenor, or Leah go down there at that time with Mom on alto. And I remember you just very patiently, I'm sure, as you were driving, stopping and hitting the soprano notes again, or singing out the lead.
And a lot of times too, Rebecca, I can remember you go back and forth if you're able to do that. I would
Yes.
come back off of my tenor, sing the soprano to get her back on again, and then slide back to tenor, and you just keep working
It
at it.
took a few years, but eventually we could sing Surely Goodness and Mercy without Mom or Dad having to help us on the soprano.
Right.
And then eventually all four of us learned the soprano parts on that one same song, and you realize, oh, we need to balance this out a little
And
bit.
learning new songs too. You
Yeah.
know, a lot of times children, a lot of the having good music in the car, at home, there became songs that were your favorites, and so you wanted to learn them.
Yes, and you would also, along those lines about in the car listening to good music, if it were a solo singing, we would sing along with that soloist, and you would encourage us, don't just sing the lead with that person, or try to pick out a part. Do you hear the alto there? And so we would, from the back seat, try to find that alto, or try to find the tenor, something to just fulfill the chord. But you've taught so many times, God being the triune being, I mean, that chord wishes to be filled out. And so we're created to hear it, right?
Right.
And so we just, with a little training and tweaking, eventually you can pick
Keep
those
working
notes
at it.
out.
Well, we need to close this out, and I got to thinking especially about just finding out what you have with your family. You never know. So we've got a unique little story now about a song that we're going to do, and it's called Christmas Angel. Now we're going to have Christmas in May, okay? Good time. Let's celebrate Christmas a little early. So we're going to sing a Christmas song that Anna Grace, when she's just a little toddler, she made up. And of course her mama helped her on the piano. Tell us a little bit about how you did that.
Go ahead,
Well,
Anna.
I don't remember much about it because I was 2, but I do remember sitting in the living room with my mom, and she was on the couch, and I remember I was sitting on the floor, and I was just singing a little song that I thought of in my head, and she just wrote down the words that I said and then wrote a little bit more to it.
Yeah, and then we just kept working with that.
Adding words to it.
We made a Christmas album, and we decided in that Christmas album to put this song in, so we worked on it a little bit more, and we thought it went well with Tell Me the Story of Jesus.
Yes.
So we kind of blended those two together. I believe you're going to like it, and listen, gang, just find a part in there somewhere, all right? We haven't got this all worked out because this group has never sung this together. In fact, I've never sung. I'm just going to jump in there where I feel like it, and I think you're going to like this song, all right? Let's try it.
Told me the
Oh, thank you so much. That was great. And I appreciate each of you joining in tonight. Remember, if we can be a help to you, this is Family Singing Made Simple, but we have Voice Made Simple, Singing Made Simple, online. If you'll go to LonnieMooreMinistries.com and click on Singing Made Simple, and for just $29.95 a month, you can have voice lessons, and you can download those, and you can have a voice teacher with you every day to practice with. And that's something you can't have otherwise. But I want to encourage you, if we can be a help to you, please take a look at it. And let me just encourage you, keep on singing, and you will have a family I know that you can be proud of as well. God bless you now. Keep on singing.